You're just so scared to try because if you try, you might actually get what it is that you desire. If you try, you might actually change your life. And guess what? Changing your life will change your reality. And even though you think you want your desires and you want your dreams, there's a chance that you are scared of change. I have a theory that most people aren't where they would like to be in life because they are scared to be seen trying. Let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Rochelle Fox, and you are tuning in to the Mindspo podcast, and this is my I Have a Theory series, where I am unpacking a theory every single day for January 2026. There are 31 episodes in this series, so you can binge them all. And this particular episode today is all around the fear that people have around being seen, around trying, around going for their dreams. Oh my God, this is so rampant in our collective consciousness. And I can think of so many people that I know of, that I've met on my path, that I see online, that I know are just scared to be seen trying. And that fear of being seen trying is holding them back from everything that they have ever wanted in their life. And I think that this fear to be seen trying, it is a fear that is very, very deep in many people's subconscious mind. And I'm someone that talks a lot about the subconscious mind. I have a book out with Penguin called Magnetic, The Secret to Manifesting Health, Wealth, Love, and Happiness. And that book is all around the subconscious mind. And it will deeply get you to understand what the subconscious mind is, how you can reprogram it, and how you can actually go into your subconscious mind and make programs that are actually going to help you get what it is that you desire in your life. And I've noticed in my work of coaching people and working with people all around the world that quite often the fear of trying comes down to a few subconscious beliefs. It comes into the fear of being seen, that the idea of putting yourself out there is in some way unsafe, is in some way dangerous. It also comes into the fear of failure. So many people are scared of the idea of failing. They're scared of the idea of other people seeing them try something and it not succeed in the way that they would hope. It also comes into the fear of success. Believe it or not, this is such a deep subconscious belief that so many people have. And it's interesting because you would think that you would want to be successful, right? You would want to get to the top and get your roses, get your bag, get the things that you have had on your manifestation list and your boards and your visions for so many years. But actually, what you'll find in many people's subconscious mind is that if they were actually to succeed, if you were actually to get the things that you deeply desire, it would require you to change as a person. It would require you to have an identity shift and to have a somewhat of an identity death, because the person that you are right now obviously doesn't have the things that you actually really desire. And the reason you don't have those things is because the person that would have those things has a different identity. And when you go into people's subconscious mind and you coach people like I do, you get to the core of understanding that actually, to get the things that you wanted, maybe it would require you having more discipline. Maybe it would require you showing up in a different way. Maybe it would require you taking more risks. And to your subconscious mind, that is scary. That is nerve-wracking. That feels unsafe. So even though you want the success, you have an inherent subconscious fear of the success. Therefore, it bleeds into this fear of trying. You're just so scared to try because if you try, you might actually get what it is that you desire. If you try, you might actually change your life. And guess what? Changing your life will change your reality. And even though you think you want your desires and you want your dreams, there's a chance that you are scared of change. And it's so funny because last year in 2025, I actually made a program called Safe to be Seen, the magnetic presence method. And it was really designed around this whole entire concept because in working with so many people over the years, I noticed that there are very specific subconscious beliefs that stop people going after their dreams. And in my program, Safe to be Seen, what I did is I created all of these different subconscious reprogramming tools to help you reprogram your subconscious to feel safe, to feel feel ease, to feel expansion, to feel a sense of flow so that you no longer feel blocked and that you can actually start showing up and start being seen as the version of you that you want to be seen as. I'm going to put all the links for that down below in the description box, because if you're listening to this podcast and you're like, wow, this is what I needed, this is like the kick up the ass that I have been looking for because I am scared of trying, that is the program that I really designed to help you get over this fear. The idea of trying is so interesting because let me tell you something. I'm trying right here, right now. I will be the first person to tell you I'm trying. And I think most people are scared to say they're trying because it's like, oh, well, you're really going for it. Like, oh, you're really putting yourself out there. And I'm like, yeah, bitch, I am. I'm doing 31 episodes in a row to start the year. This is me trying. This is me going for it. Everything that I've done in my life, from publishing books with big publishing houses to creating a retreats company with thousands of clients and students all around the world, to creating programs and apps and events and just putting myself out there, has all stemmed from me trying. It has stemmed from me deciding like I'm going for it. I am doing this thing. And in the process of trying, I have had to get over the concept of being cringe. I have been cringe more times than you have count. I have been cringe for 10 freaking years. I've been in a decade of cringe. I started Mindspo as a company, not this podcast. This podcast has only been around for a blimp of time, but I started Mindspo back in 2016. And that was me trying. That was me trying something. It was me putting my hand up and saying, hey, I know nothing about online business. I've just become a meditation teacher after being on this journey for very many years. And I want to try and help other people. I want to put myself out there. I want to teach and coach, and I want to try living a digital nomad lifestyle. Like, there was no golden path or golden plan. There was no golden ticket to do any of this stuff. It required me to try. It required me to make mistakes and fall on my ass and fail at certain things and fuck up and then get back up and keep doing it. And it's cool to try. And I know that in your mind, if you're listening to this podcast, you probably clicked on it because you are nervous of trying. You're nervous of people seeing you try. You're nervous of putting yourself out there. But everyone that you are comparing yourself to, everyone that has what it is that you desire, they're all trying. Like, babe, they are all going for it. They all remember being cringe. They all remember starting off and feeling awkward and no one clapping for them and having no views or not having any sales or not having any conversions or whatever it is that you're looking for from trying. Everyone, unless they're some kind of Nepo baby or they got it handed to them on a silver platter, like everyone had to go through that awkward stage. It is the price that you have to pay to win. You don't just get things handed to you. Yes, I believe that you can manifest things instantly and you can have quantum leaps, but so many of the things that people actually really desire, they come from trying. They come from consistently showing up. And I think that so many people get so fixated on this end result idea, this idealistic version of themselves that they would like to be at. That is really the chapter 10 or the chapter 20 in the journey. And they're at like the day dot, just starting the book, the chapter 1, the first page. And then they record the video or they launch the website or they film the thing. And then they have this freak out where they're like, oh my gosh, this doesn't look as good as this other person's. Oh my gosh, I just look like such a noob. I suck. My copy sucks. My logo sucks. This thing sucks. And then they just don't put it out there, or they talk themselves out of their own greatness. And it's funny because there's this trend going around right now, which is 2026 is the new 2016. And I love that because I started Mindspo in 2016 and I can go back to my marketing and the first course design I ever did. Oh my gosh, the first course that I ever put out, it was like this kind of aqua blue and yellow. It was so bright. It was so neon pop. It was not neutral or cool or, really refined like it is today. It was just this explosion of color and personality. And it was just me trying. It was the essence of who I was in that moment. And it was reflecting of the trends in that moment. And I look back on those moments now, 10 years later, and my marketing now, 10 years later, and the way I present myself and take photos and communicate now, 10 years later. And I'm really happy that I tried and I was cringe because I have so much joy looking back on those memories and so much joy on the journey that I've been on because it's taught me and it's allowed me to refine my taste. And this is another thing that I want to say to you. Trying is what allows you to develop taste. And taste is, I believe, one of the most important things to develop and refine as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a person in the world in this day and age. Because we are living in the AI age where AI can make everything look perfect. AI can replicate anything. It can imitate. It is so powerful, and it is going to continue to get more and more powerful. But the one thing AI doesn't have is taste. It isn't really plugged into the spiritual collective consciousness. It is plugged into the collective consciousness. I will say that. It does have a vibe for things, but it doesn't have a refinement. It doesn't have a taste. It doesn't have that human spark of energy. That is so electric and so magnetic. And I know you know this. I know you know when you scroll online, you can really tell when something has just been pulled out of AI, not refined by a human, and just put out on the internet. You can tell AI writing, you can tell AI scripts, you can tell when it is an AI person. You know this because your human spirit will always be drawn towards real human invention, real human creativity. It comes from trying, it comes from being cringe, it comes from being a human. Humans try. This is what we do. We don't come into this world with this manual of how to do things perfectly. And I've always laughed at this. Like, how wild is it that we come into this, reality and we don't have a manual, or and our parents don't have a manual. We don't exactly know how it all works. We have to figure it out ourselves. Your whole entire life up until this point has been a journey of you trying. When you were first born, you were this little tiny baby, and you had to try and learn to do all the things that you do right now. The basic shit that you probably look over, the putting the fork in the mouth, the putting the spoon in the mouth, even the crawling to walking. You had to try to walk. And I think that it is so natural to try. Humans are so curious. But it is because these days we have such a performance-based society where everyone is watching you build, everyone is watching you start something, everyone is connected through social media, that it feels scary to try because we are so stuck in our heads comparing ourselves to the other people out there that were trying before us. But I want you to block out that noise. I want you to ignore the static and the pressure that you feel from being connected to everyone else that is, I'm putting in air quotes here, winning. And I want you just to imagine that no one else is looking, because let me tell you something, everyone that has tried before you is not judging you. I don't know anyone that has put themselves out there that goes and judges people that are just starting. It just doesn't happen, because no one that has done it before is going to look at you and be like, oh my God, what is she doing? No, we're going to go, wow, I remember when I was at that stage. Wow, I remember when my lighting looked like that. Wow, I remember when I was just getting started and I had no views and it felt like I was speaking to a brick wall. Wow, weren't those the days? Those were the days that really tested me, where I had to keep showing up, where I had to get over all of my insecurities and all of the subconscious stories that probably are stopping you from keeping going. Like, we all know, everyone that has gone before you knows what that feels like. The people that are judging you, these are the people that aren't doing it. This is maybe your family that are just kind of beyond their, going for their dreams years because they've given up, and they're sitting there going like, oh yeah, you're really giving that a crack. It's like, well, yeah, Sally, my cousin, I am giving that a crack. Or your uncle being like, oh, well, good luck. It's like, yeah, Uncle Mark, I'm doing it. Like, leave me alone. Like, what are you doing with your life? Sitting there drinking beer, just bitching about everyone, watching football. These aren't real people. I'm just role playing here, but these are the people that will judge you. These are the people that might judge you for trying and give you shit. Block them on Instagram, block them on whatever page you are putting yourself out there on, and even just block them out of your consciousness. Don't let these people get in your head, because these are not your audience. These are not your target market. These are not your customers. These are not the people that you need to worry about. These are the people that are just loud in your life, giving you their opinion. And I personally, I never take the opinion of anyone that hasn't done what I'm doing. There are people that I respect that aren't doing what I'm doing that give me their opinion all the time. And I'll take some of it with a grain of salt, but other parts of it, I'm like, you're not really in the same game as me. You're not doing the same thing. You don't get where I'm going. And you've got to be a savage about who you let come into your mind and really infect your subconscious, because there are so many people out there that will limit you, that will make fun of you for trying, that will, pick at you. And these people do not deserve a seat at your table. They do not deserve to have an opinion on your life. And if you've been around a family or people or friends that you feel have really kind of pulled you down for your desire to try to put yourself out there to the point where you just feel frozen and you're procrastinating and you're looking at other people and you're comparing yourself and you just have a dream. You know what you want to do. Like, in your hearts of hearts, like what you want to go for, but you're not doing it because you're scared to try. Oh my gosh, you've got to do subconscious reprogramming work. You've got to get yourself out of it by really finding safety in the things that you're scared of. And this is why I built Safe to Be Seen, the magnetic presence method. It is really for people that want to feel safe being seen, that want to feel safe trying, that want to just do that deeper inner work, to let go of these core subconscious wounds that are keeping them scared, that are keeping them frozen, that are preventing them from going for the life that they know that they could have if they just started trying. So I'm going to have all the details for that down below. It is one of my core offerings, core courses. It's over 4 weeks. It has so much content in there. Everyone that has signed up to the magnetic presence method always says to me, oh my gosh, Rochelle, I just keep coming back to this course, because in it, I have many different wounds that you can go and work on. And they're the core subconscious wounds that really stop people from trying, stop people from putting themselves out there and being seen. And each one of the wounds, I have different modalities that you can use to reprogram your subconscious mind. I have different modalities to help you reprogram that specific wound inside your subconscious mind. And then, of course, also create safety inside of your body, because it's not just your mind that is stopping you from trying. It is your nervous system. It is the capacity of your nervous system to feel safe putting itself out there. And our nervous system has so many different things that it can do to really put us in a free state, to put us in a state where we pull back or we go too hard and then we collapse. And it's all about working with our mind and our body together to create that safety. So if you are someone that wants to start trying, you want to put yourself out there, you want to feel safe being seen, and you want to develop that magnetic presence that comes from putting yourself out there, from feeling secure, and really just going for the life that you know that you are deserving of. Again, all the details to sign up for that course are down below in the description box. And finally, I just want to say to you that I would be nowhere if I didn't try. And I think that it's so sad that there are so many people out there that have so much potential, but because we live in the current reality that we live in, at the same time these people have so much potential, they are also the same people that have so many fears. And it's funny, sometimes in order to get the things that we deeply desire, you have to overcome your biggest blocks. You have to overcome the things that are holding you back. And I know that this is one of the core things that holds the majority of people back, that just feel like they don't have the life that they want. And it's because they're just so caught up in their head. They're so caught up in the comparison. They're so caught up in the subconscious stories and the fear. Trying has been the best thing I've done in my life. And I'm a professional trier. I'm always trying. I'm always trying new things. I'm always experimenting. My life is one big game. And I want you to see your life as one big game as well. I want you to have fun trying and fucking up and failing and getting back on the horse, because that's how I've done my life. And it's gotten me to a beautiful place with so many beautiful opportunities, with a great life and a beautiful story as well that I'll look back on one day. There are so many things that have fallen through in my life that were chapters and not books. There were things that I thought were going to be amazing and they didn't work out the way that I thought they would. But they all taught me something. And this is another thing that I'm sure you've heard me say in other podcasts if you're a regular listener. Like, you never fail, babe. you only ever get feedback. There is no such thing as failure. Failure is just an experience, and the goal of this whole entire life thing is to have an experience. Like, you came here to have an experience. That's all you're meant to do. So failing is part of the experience, and it's the part that's going to teach you the most lessons. It's the part that is going to give you the most wisdom. So be excited when you fail. Be excited when you fuck up. Be excited when you fall down, because that then gives you a chance to get back up, to learn, to grow, and to really go for your dreams from a place of embodiment, from actually knowing what worked and what didn't work. And oh my God, it gives you a story to tell when you are older. So, as I've always been saying in this podcast theory series, the best is yet to come for you, my friend. But the best will only come for you if you start trying to show up as your best self, if you start putting your best self out there, which requires you trying. So get off this bullshit belief that you don't have to try, or that it's cringe, or that like you don't want to be like one of those people. Oh God, I hate people that are just like pretentious like that. No. Be weird, be strange, be cringe, put yourself out there, fuck up, fall down. That makes you interesting. That makes you a great person in my book. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. I will see you in the next one. As I always say, never forget that you create your own reality. So go out there and make some freaking magic.